You may know Fresh Patch from Shark Tank, Oprah, or The Today Show. This is the Fresh Patch Podcast, where good pets get it. Sit back, put your paws up, and enjoy the show. Welcome, everybody, to the Fresh Patch Podcast. I am your host, Drew, with my co-host, Mr. Gabe, to my right for the viewers. And we have an awesome guest on the pod today. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hey guys, my name's Juliana DeWillems. I'm the owner of JW Dog Training in the Washington, D.C. area.
Beautiful, amazing. So happy to have you on. Really excited to ask you these questions, get to know you some more. I know we've been working together for a little bit, so people that do follow us on Instagram and stuff, you might have seen some JW dog training videos. We love your videos, all your approach, everything. So
Thank you.
yeah, and some stuff we can't say till next week, but you did work on a video for us for a new product release. So everybody listening, it will be released by the time this episode is out. So keep an eye out for that and everything.
Probably talk about it.
I guess we could. Yeah, it would be our puppy
exciting.
parent bundle. Yes.
Puppy parent bundle.
So
Yeah.
everything you will need to potty train your puppy. We are really excited to release this product, kind of a one-stop shop for everything you need to bring that new puppy home. So, and yeah, really excited. And just to confirm, you're Juliana or Juliana?
Thank you for asking. It's
Yes.
Juliana.
Juliana. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met many,
Yeah.
and I get corrected
Yes.
too many times. So
Appreciate that.
sweet.
That's
So
where my brain was going. So
yeah.
glad to get that confirmation.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, we're going to dive into questions, Juliana. I'll pass it on to Gabe and we'll get started.
Absolutely. So you gave yourself an amazing intro just now, but just for anyone who's not familiar with you, would you mind just kind of like reintroducing yourself, maybe go a little bit deeper into yourself and what you do?
Yeah, thank you. And thank you again both for having me. I love your podcast. I love your product. It's been really cool to work together. So I am a certified dog trainer and dog behavior consultant. As I mentioned, I'm the owner of JW Dog Training, and that's for most folks who know me from socials. That's the name they recognize, JW Dog Training. That is my company. We are a company based outside of Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia, and we're lucky to be able to do virtual training all across the country. And we specialize in more complex issues, reactivity, aggression, although of course happy to help, new puppy parents and teenagers, basic manners, that type of thing. We're really able to help issues across the board. I have an incredible team of trainers who work for me, and they let me kind of do the social media, public facing stuff while they see a lot of our clients. And again, virtual training has opened up the ability to work with people all over the globe, really. We've worked with clients in other countries to help them sometimes bring their dog back to the US with them. We've helped folks all across the US. So we are a virtual training company and see folks in person, and we use positive reinforcement methods, and we focus on the science of learning, and we all have credentials behind our name because that's really important to us. And we're really lucky to be able to help pet parents with their dogs.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
You do a lot. You do a lot.
We do, yes.
And it's like,
Especially, and in 2026, business doesn't quite look the way it used to. We've been open for 6 years now. It'll be 6 years in August. And yeah, it's, the pandemic really changed things for dog training.
absolutely.
Definitely.
No, it's really cool. I was kind of like surprised to hear that you do like virtual training and you work with people like even beyond Washington, which is so awesome. So I definitely think, you got something there.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, being in the virtual world now, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
you got to take advantage of, being virtual and giving people the services that they want, so yeah, that's
Totally.
great.
And it makes training more accessible because a lot of folks don't have really good trainers close to them. And people are so surprised with how effective virtual training is, because when I come to your home to train your dog, I can train them, teach them the skill, and then be like, okay, now you try it. But with virtual training, you're training your dog. Like you truly
Yeah.
become the trainer. And so it really empowers folks. It's been actually a really great outcome of the world changing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And yeah, congratulations on almost 6 years as well.
Thank
That's
you.
really cool. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Cool. And you kind of touched on this, but if you want to, kind of briefly answer it again, how would you describe your approach to dog training?
Definitely positive reinforcement based.
Hmm.
So, and kind of a holistic approach. So, in addition to the quote unquote problem or unwanted behaviors that folks want help changing in the moment, we kind of zoom out and we just make sure that a dog is living a happy, healthy, fulfilling life, that they have enrichment, that they have their needs met, that they are not dealing with any medical issues that could be contributing to their behavior. And then, of course, we address the behavior challenges that guardians are facing. And we do so by thinking, okay, we don't want them to do this behavior, so let's teach them an alternative replacement behavior while also looking out for all the other great behaviors our dogs do and rewarding those so that we see more of them. That's what the science of behavior tells us, that when a
Hmm.
behavior is reinforced, it increases. And when you increase the behaviors that you want, you see way less of the behaviors that you don't want. And that is kind of our approach in a nutshell.
There you go. Wow. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a really cool kind of like different approach. And just kind of like going off that, what makes that sort of training style different from more traditional methods that people, might be used to?
We've learned a lot about training and our relationship with dogs over the past couple decades. And we've learned that we can change behavior in a way that works for us as the humans, but also works for the dog. We don't have to use fear or intimidation or pain or anything like that. We don't have to scare our dogs into changing their behavior. We can motivate them to do what we want by reinforcing desirable behavior and encouraging the behavior we want and really bringing out the best in them instead of constantly focusing on what we don't want. It really can change the relationship with your dog because you're not focusing so much on stop doing that, don't do that, don't do that. That's such a frustrating way to live. And instead, you focus on what you do want.
Hmm. Yeah. No, that's a great way of putting it. I definitely don't like being told,
Yeah.
do this, do that, that way. It's not a good way to live. But yeah, no, that's amazing. And moving on to the next question, what do you think people often misunderstand about dog training today?
I think that folks in general, when we're living in, again, 2026, we have answers at our fingertips.
Mhm.
And can you guys hear my dog barking? Is that
No,
No,
actually,
okay?
we
Good, good,
can't.
good.
Yeah.
So Zoom, it's like, of course, the one time you sit down for a meeting, like the
Yeah.
delivery person just came and dropped up a package, which happens like once a week. Um, and so I'm glad to hear that Zoom is effectively cutting it out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
in today's day and age, we're so used to having quick, immediate results and
Hmm.
answers at our fingertips and just like immediate gratification,
Yeah.
with our phones in our pockets. And so I think a lot of folks want that with dog training too. They expect quick results. They expect this like quick and immediate gratification with their dogs too. And
Mhm.
for the most part, changing behavior takes time, it takes effort, it takes repetition, it takes consistency. And so I think that's where sometimes guardian expectations and human expectations can uh, kind of butt up with behavior, which takes time and effort to change.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that makes
Absolutely.
total sense. And that kind of applies to Fresh Patch too. I think we get that same kind of approach. Like, and we do, it is real grass. So, yes, the dog is naturally attracted to it, but there's always a little bit of training involved, especially for a puppy or something. And we get that from customers sometimes too. It's like, oh, it didn't work. And it's like, well, how long did you try? Oh, I tried for a few days and it didn't take. It's like, okay, well,
Yep.
like that's just, it's not just going to happen with every dog, so being consistent, making sure you got to set a routine and everything is key. So I think that just goes hand in hand.
You're
Absolutely.
exactly right. And we that's such a good example where yes, it's
Mhm.
that consistency, the learning needs to take place, the reinforcement needs to take place. A dog being reinforced one time doesn't necessarily guarantee that the behavior is going to increase. It takes repetitions, and so sticking with it and again consistently trying, whether you're trying to teach them to potty on the fresh patch grass patch or you're trying to teach them to walk nice on a leash, that consistency and time is so important.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Definitely,
I think
definitely.
too with just like social media and like animal creators being so popular nowadays, I'm sure it's the case a lot of times where people see these videos of these like amazingly trained dogs and animals, and they just think that they're going to bring home their dog and it's just going to be like that, but they don't want to put in the work to training, or they don't know that they should put in the work to train, you know?
No,
Yeah.
Gabe, you're so right that it's social media has been amazing for the dog training because it again creates things that are so resources that are so accessible and you can learn so much on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. And it has created a totally false expectation that transformations happen in an instant,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, social media really highlights and reinforces these like clickbait, sensationalized before and after videos. And there's just so much more to the story than that. And usually the more is the time and effort that went into that you don't see.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean it's that's what it's all about is putting in the time and like the work
Hmm.
to get your dog to where you want to be, and then
Hmm.
also like I feel like it helps with bonding with your animal as well, and like improves that relationship. So it's really
You're exactly right. Yep. And that's the thing is about the journey, not as much the destination. And the journey, especially when you're using positive reinforcement training, can do so much for your relationship with your dog. It's actually really cool.
Hmm.
totally. Yeah, I actually just rescued a bunny
Oh my
and I'm
gosh.
finding
Congrats.
all of
That's so
this out.
cute.
Yeah, oh my God, it's awesome. But they're like so because my family's always had dogs, and
Yep.
so it's like a brand new thing, and like what you're saying is like perfectly kind of setting me up for how training is going to be with her. So,
Bunnies
um,
can learn a lot. I look forward to
yes,
seeing your clicker training progress with her. They
absolutely,
can learn a lot. It's great enrichment for all species.
Yeah.
totally.
There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a journey, but yeah, I appreciate
Get
that,
get
and
that
No.
click. Got to get
hopefully,
that clicker, Gabe.
yes.
You
Gotta.
do. You have to find out what treats she likes. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a very exciting journey you have ahead of you.
I will
Yeah.
say she does love cilantro, so that's a
There
good
you
place to
go.
start.
Great. Couldn't be
Um,
me, but okay.
awesome. So, how did you originally like get into dog training? Were you always a dog person, or was this something that just kind of like fell in your lap?
I have loved animals my whole life. Gosh, tale as old as time. And I actually went to college for animal science,
Oh,
which when
wow.
people hear that, they go, "Oh my gosh, you did what you did after college, what you were supposed to do, what you learned in college." But right out of college, I actually went into business and fundraising and development for a nonprofit, for an animal shelter. And so similar to, you guys are sharing your small business, you wear a lot of hats. When I was working at a nonprofit, I was the event planner, the fundraising person, but I sat at the desk next to the foster person. So, of course, I'm a fresh 21 years old outside of college. I start fostering dogs. And when you foster dogs, you want to help them be their best selves. So, I
Mhm.
learned a little bit about training. I got hooked up with the Humane Society's trainer, who later became my boss because I worked for her for 6 years. And
Wow.
I tried to balance being in my event planning role and doing dog training on the side. I did that for about 4 years until the dog training world just took me and I jumped into doing dog training full time. That was back in like, gosh, 2015, I think. And I've been doing it ever since.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's really cool to hear that you have like a business background, and it makes total sense, like just the way that you've like structured your whole business and everything. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you,
Yeah.
you learn, whoops, when you want to, working for somebody else isn't so bad, but if you wanted to own your own business as a dog trainer, yeah,
Yes.
you got to learn about business real quick.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's great. And cool. Going on to the our next question. How did you go from getting started to building JW Dog Training into what it is today?
I was, like I said, working for my previous mentor for 6 years, and the pandemic hit, and life just looked so different. And I got to the point, I was so happy working for someone else, like through my 20s.
Hmm.
And then I got to the point where I was like, okay, I think I want to do this myself. Like I have ideas I want to implement. I just have different ways of wanting to do things. So then I
Hmm.
left and started JW. And that again, the pandemic changed so much for the way dog training looks. We opened up the options of virtual training. We got online. Like I started my social media at that time. So I started thinking it was going to be a very traditional dog training business, like just seeing people, clients in person and just doing that all week and, maybe posting online here and there. But over the years, one, I got a little burnt out on seeing clients so much. It's a lot of work and I did it just so much in my 20s. And two, the social media and online stuff kind of started to take off. So I was pulled in other directions. And I think something that helped my business is that I allowed us to grow and to change and to pivot. And I wasn't so like married to the idea of it staying a traditional dog training business. I said, okay, let's see all the other ways we can make money being a dog trainer. And so I just let it grow and evolve. And I'm very, very grateful to say it has taken off and we've had many successful years.
There you go. Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's an incredible story. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's very inspirational too for people
yeah,
like looking to start their own businesses and things like
exactly.
that, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So, congrats.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good
thank
for
you.
you.
It's a lot of work and got, it's like, oh, you work for yourself. That's great. You don't have a boss. Yeah, except, there are just so many other things that come with running your own business and a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of pros and cons. And I think I am finally at the point where I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm running the business. The business isn't running me, which is not
Nice.
always the case,
Yeah.
So it's taken a lot of trial and eval, but we're definitely in a really cool place right now. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we mentioned earlier, your background in business, working for a shelter, that sort of thing, that can be extremely rewarding on its own, but dog training in its own is, like helping someone, find a good place with their dog and help with their relationship, all that sort of stuff. What has been the most rewarding part of working with dogs and their owners for you?
It's exactly what you said, that I can help someone transform their relationship with their dog and go from being frustrated and at the end of their rope and exhausted and sometimes in some cases afraid of their dog, afraid of what their dog can do. And I can just help them see the best in their dog, build their relationship, trust their dog again, and have their dog trust them, feel safe with each other, and just have more fun together. I mean, I think that's just the most rewarding and coolest part about dog training, and again especially positive reinforcement training, that just builds bonds so much. It's something that even after doing this for 12 years never ever gets old, seeing kind of that spark between the human
hmm
and dog with the human canine bond. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, definitely rewarding and stuff. That's I don't think that will ever die. The
No,
seeing that bond, I mean,
Yeah.
even just a normal person, like not a trainer, like you see that and it's heartwarming, you love it.
totally.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
You ever
yeah,
just, oh, sorry. Do you ever just like see dogs that you've trained in the past, like just around and like, you still kind of like have a bond with them?
oh my gosh, I actually have such a cool story about that. So I started my business in Washington, D.C., and
Yeah.
I lived in D.C. and you get older and you start to move further and further out. So has the business. But I spent many years training dogs in DC. And one summer when I was first couple years being a trainer, I worked with this dog, Griffin, and he was a black lab, and
Mhm.
his guard family brought me in when he was a puppy, and they needed a lot of help. So I spent a lot of time with him. And I think I spent a year just doing a lot of training with him and a lot of time. And then, life goes on. They don't need me quite as much anymore. And I get busy doing other things. And a couple years later, I'm at a park in DC and this black lab runs up to me
Oh
and
my
he was
gosh.
so happy to see me. It was that I even like pulled my phone out because I was like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. And then I like looked at him and he like looked at me. It was like the movies, I'm like, wait a second. And I
Oh,
like look up and sure enough, there's his mom like walking down the trail. So it was really beautiful. And we had a really, really sweet reunion. And then
oh,
I went back and looked at all of our pictures together. It's because yeah, it's crazy. Years can go by and dogs don't forget. It's one of the most special
hmm,
parts of dogs, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
that is such an incredible
That gives
story.
me
Oh my
I know,
goosebumps.
so
gosh.
cool.
Yeah, such
I
a
got
movie.
goosebumps.
Yeah, right? Yeah, say
Totally.
such a movie moment. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's awesome. Yeah. And probably just more, yeah, rewarding to you too. It's like, okay,
Hmm.
obviously the training worked, and helped and
Yeah,
Totally.
like
yeah.
left an impression on the dog too. So that
Yeah.
gives you more confidence, in what you're doing and everything, which is
Hmm.
amazing just all around. So awesome. Moving into the next question, kind of tying Fresh Patch into everything now. You've used Fresh Patch with your senior dog, and can you tell us a little bit more about that experience?
So I actually, unfortunately, didn't discover Fresh Patch or like really discover it until after we lost my senior dog Lola.
Mm,
But I always think about how much I wish I had Fresh Patch in her final, like, well, certainly her whole life, but her
mhm,
final 6 months. So Lola was a Chihuahua, and
mm,
she, I blame my wife because Lola came into my life when I met my wife, and I blame my wife for Lola's poor potty habits, basically. I'll just throw her right under the bus for that. But she, it it got so Lola always had challenges with going to the bathroom only outside.
mhm,
And later in life, she developed heart disease, which is ultimately what she passed away from. And she ended up on a medication that made her go to the bathroom even more. So, and this is the case for so many senior dogs or
mhm.
dogs with any medical issues, really. But
Yep.
medications can influence their need to go to the bathroom and their
Oh yeah.
frequency and how much they can hold it.
Mhm,
And so I so wish we had had a fresh patch in those last couple months of her life because she just needed to go so frequently and she would have been so comfortable getting to go to the bathroom on grass. And that's where I think it's so valuable for
mhm.
certainly older dogs, but any dog going through medical challenges.
Yeah, no, and I thank you for highlighting that too, because yeah, it's not just the senior dog. There's so many side effects when it comes to medication that, people don't really think of, when their dog's about to go on it and then they're living it and they're like, oh my gosh, wish there was a solution. Well, guess what? There is.
Mhm.
Fresh patch. So check it
Yes.
out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no,
Yes.
thanks. That's a really good point.
Yeah, and whether it's so from the behavior side, whether it's a dog who needs to go to the bathroom frequently because of a medication, or
Mhm,
what I'm seeing a lot because we're discovering the link between pain and behavior. So we're seeing a lot of our clients who have reactive and aggressive behaviors. We're also discovering basically muscular skeletal issues they're having, whether it's like arthritis or a injury or something that requires surgery, and
mhm,
they're either on exercise restriction or they're recovering from surgery and they physically can't do stairs, they can't go all the way outside to go to the bathroom. That's where I've seen it be incredibly useful to give dogs access to the bathroom without the cumbersome going downstairs, going a long distance. It can
mhm.
make a huge difference there.
Definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we get a lot of people. I don't know if you might be saying this, but the TPLO surgery has been
Oh
the,
yeah.
Oh
the biggest
yeah.
one. You know what I mean? We get
Yep.
customers for that all the time. And
Yeah.
we really were educated on that surgery last year. Big part of it was starting this podcast. We had one person on who went through that and they're like, the fresh patch was
Mm-hmm.
incredible to
Oh yeah.
have, and so we've been trying to let
Lifesaver.
that message out
Yeah.
there, give it
Totally.
out there and stuff.
Totally. Yep.
Um,
We're seeing, yeah, it just is, yeah. As a trainer, I see like a bazillion different reasons for it, medical
oh
being
yeah.
the big one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and so kind of like going off that, when you've used Fresh Patch in the past, whether with some of your clients or with your personal dog, um, how did they adjust to using it?
For some dogs, they can, as you guys have seen, they can take to it right away.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And other dogs, I think, can definitely be confused at first. Like, wait a second, one, I'm allowed to go in the house. And by the way, everyone watching this is why we don't want to punish our dogs for going to the bathroom in the house, because there might be a day where we do want them to go in the house on a fresh
Totally.
patch.
Hmm.
So, and there's like a number of other reasons why you don't want to punish them for going to the bathroom in the house. But that's a big one is that we don't want to create hesitation or fear around going
Mhm.
inside. So I think some dogs it can take a minute, but because it's grass and that's what the substrate most dogs are used to going on outside, the transition is much easier than if they were going to try pee pads or potty pads, which is the what people have done until your incredible grass patch came on the market is we're trying, okay, my dog can't go outside, they've had an injury, they're sick or whatever. I'm going to try to get them to go on pads. And that is so much harder to transition to when a dog has a whole lifetime of practicing going on grass.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And not only that, but I was thinking like starting off with pads and then transitioning them
Yes.
off to going outside to real grass. Like,
Hmm.
it's more difficult to do that when you're using plastic instead of grass. So,
Mhm.
You're absolutely right because dogs do develop substrate preferences. So, these
Mhm.
dogs who are like live in the city, they actually prefer to go to the bathroom on like pavement where, my dog never in a million years. I think most dogs.
Yeah.
But does what they learn to go on and what gets reinforced with their bathroom behavior early on and initially can be what they start to prefer their whole life. That's why when they start going on carpets, yikes,
Yeah.
they really start to love carpets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, the more you can get your dog or your puppy or your new rescue dog going on grass ASAP, the better.
Hmm.
All right, substrate preferences. I'm writing that one
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big buzzword in the dog training world.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
substrate preferences.
Awesome.
And just from your perspective too, I just discussion kind of came to my head too, but we get this a lot from customers. Like they'll try it out and it's like, oh, my dog's never gone inside, but now
Mhm.
like they maybe moved to an apartment, it used to be in a house or whatever. Like, what do you suggest there? Like obviously the training might be a little more, like cumbersome and take a little more effort because it's like the opposite. You know what I mean? You're not starting them inside and then transition out. You're starting them outside and then transitioning them in. So what do you suggest for something like that?
My tip for teaching dogs to use a grass patch indoors is to put pottying on outside on a cue. So whether
Hmm.
it's like go potty or go now or do your business, whatever cue you want
Hmm.
it to be, you want to associate that phrase with going to the bathroom and then getting a reward. So you want to
Gotcha.
pay close attention to when your dog is likely to go. And usually we see maybe the circling or the sniffing in a certain spot. You want to try to say the cue just as they're doing it or right before, and then treat, 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 treat when they're done. So they
Hmm.
start to associate the verbal phrase, the cue, with going to the bathroom and getting a reward. And then once that is nice and consistent, then you can start to practice that inside and walk them over to their grass patch and give their cue that hopefully they go, oh, okay, I have an idea of what that means. And then be ready to reward them the moment they go.
Hmm.
Also, making sure you're capitalizing on like when they have to go first thing in the morning or maybe after a meal, when they're likely to have to go to the bathroom. That's also going to help you be more successful.
Gotcha. Perfect. Well, thank you for that. A little
Yeah.
free training for our viewers and listeners, but
Clip
that
that one.
yeah, that question, I don't know. We get that a lot and I've just never really thought about that deeper, you know what I mean? Like I guess it is the opposite. Like we're bringing an older dog, maybe doesn't
Yes.
matter the age, but like
Mhm.
their situation's changing. So how is the best way to approach that? So
Yeah, and
perfect.
that's something to keep in mind for folks to put pottying on cue in general can be
Yeah.
helpful, meaning, and not that your dog has to wait to go to the bathroom until you cue them. We don't want to have like that much control over our dogs. They
Yeah.
should be able to go whenever they need to, but more so associating with the behavior of going to the bathroom with the cue and the reward. That's
Hmm.
how then you can start to cue them, like you're on a road trip, you can cue them to go to the bathroom at the rest stop. You can cue them if you've got a quick minute before work. It can help to encourage them to go to the bathroom when you need them to.
Yeah, totally makes sense. And that I'm glad you said what you said. Like, we're not here to like control their
No, no, no,
when
no.
when they're going to the bathroom and everything. And that's
Hmm.
like another reason I always say with Fresh Patch too. I'm like, as humans, we can go when we want. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
We got a bathroom always available pretty much, so why not do the same thing for your dog? Have the Fresh Patch indoors. Obviously we're not replacing walks and everything, but all those in between moments, why do you want to like, oh, I need 2 more hours before I can go downstairs. It's like, why? Why are you going to do that to your dog? Like just let him go freely on a piece of real grass. It's a no-brainer. So listeners, viewers, come on,
I could
freshpatch.com.
not agree more. You are spot on, Drew, that we control so much of our dogs' lives. We
Hmm.
control when they eat, we control what they eat, we control when they play, when they go for walks, where they walk, when they go to the bathroom.
Hmm.
Dogs have such little agency over their lives when we
Oh
think
yeah.
about it. And imagine, we all know how uncomfortable it is to have to hold it when you really have to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
our dogs have adapted to that so well. And people will say, well, my dog will hold it for 12 hours. Okay,
My
but
gosh.
I know, like, we don't want to have to make them do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so being able to say, to actually respond to that feeling of having to go and not having to wait for us can be a one small way we can give them agency back. And then it makes our lives easier than not having the stress of having to like race home, or, you get stuck at the office, or you're having a lot of fun with your friends and not having the worry about running home to your dog because they can go to the bathroom if they need to is really actually quite life changing.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, no, that's a great
Yeah.
way of putting it. Yeah, totally. So, yeah, okay, those were two questions kind of
Mhm.
off the list. So we'll get back to the scheduled programming, but Do you want to take? I got this one. I got
Okay.
this one.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we touched on this briefly at the beginning of the episode. Our new puppy parent
Ooh,
bundle.
it's not a
So
secret.
it's not a secret. Okay, I'm sorry. It's out. You recently featured the new puppy parent bundle, and let us know what stood out to you about that product.
It is such a great product for new puppy parents to have because the bringing home a new puppy is so overwhelming. And one of the
Hmm.
most overwhelming parts is making sure you have everything. And so to get this bundle and check the potty training supplies, checking that off your list is, I think, going to be a huge relief for puppy parents. I really like that it comes with the pad, the fresh pad that you can put underneath the grass because while we might start getting our puppy going on the grass, we can't guarantee that they're necessarily going to aim correctly or that they're going
Yep.
to make it all the way or, they're of course puppies are notorious, dumping their water bowl over or there's just puppies are messy. And so
Hmm.
having that pad is amazing. And then of course my dog Matilda, who is not a puppy, but she 10 out of 10 approved of the toy. She said
Yes.
that that was the coolest and most fun toy. I'm like trying to film. She's grabbing it. Yes.
For
And
the viewers at home, you know.
yes, she
Very
thinks that
cool.
that is the best toy ever. So,
Well, we
Nice.
are so glad that you loved it. She loved it. And yeah, the
mhm.
toy is a hit. So everybody check out the new puppy parent bundle, freshpatch.com. It will be out when this episode is released. So, and if you're bringing that new puppy home, check out the puppy parent bundle, JW dog training as well. It could be a perfect match with both of
Mhm.
us if you're bringing that new puppy home. So yeah. All right, Gabe, I'll pass
Absolutely.
it back to
Oh, well,
you. I
thank
feel
you.
like I've asked too many
No,
questions.
ask away. Please make my job easier
Yeah.
over here. Um, cool. So bringing it back to a little bit of like having a puppy and like the preparation for it. How do you think a product like the puppy parent bundle or just like in general, like having the right setup from the beginning, why is that so important when talking about potty training?
We talked before about substrate preference. So, getting puppies used to grass underneath their paws when they go to the bathroom is really, really not just helpful, but important in those first few weeks and months.
Hmm.
And we know how vulnerable they are health wise. So we have to be really careful about taking them out to just any grass outside. So this is one way to make sure your puppy stays safe while also practicing potty habits that you want them to be have for the rest of their life. So they can practice getting their paws on grass, going to the bathroom on grass, while not being exposed to all the germs. Although I do, as a trainer, need to say, like, please take your puppy outside. There are ways to do it safely. Socialization is critical. Do not leave them in a bubble at home. Look
Yeah.
up safe socialization practices. So you can take your puppy out without their paws touching the ground while also practicing going on grass at home.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Wow. That was picture perfect
Yeah.
right there. Okay. So thank you for that. And on to the next question. Does this tie in a little bit now? How does something like this help new puppy parents stay consistent?
Because of how easy it will be to access the grass patch,
Hmm.
you will be able to consistently give your dog the opportunity to go to the bathroom on the grass patch and be rewarded for going on the grass patch. So I showed in my video of the bundle a few different setups where you can
Hmm.
have it like actually in their pen, which could be great for some puppies, or directly outside their pen so that you let them out from when they're done in their pen and the grass patch is immediately right there, or directly outside if they don't have quick and easy access to grass outside. I showed it on my deck with a fence around it because you want to really set your puppy up for success and give them almost no choice but to go on the grass, making sure that the grass is big enough for what they're interested in. Some dogs need to walk a little bit before they go to the bathroom. So, getting a size that's appropriate for them and then presenting them with many, many, many opportunities to go is how you are going to help them be successful. Always rewarding after they go as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Reward, reward, reward people.
Yes.
Yeah, throw that party, and yeah, no, thank you for that. That's a perfect, and I love that approach too with the outside, like just placing it right out the door. That's what I tell people all the time
Hmm.
Yep.
too. Even starting it, I'll tell people if they're used to going outside, put it by the door that you've been taking them out of, and then slowly just put it back outside or the patio, whatever, So, yeah, thanks for touching on that because
Yeah.
that's a great way to, keep that consistency.
And Drew, I want to just briefly say something about the
Mhm.
rewarding because you're right, it's very important.
Yeah.
And timing is also important. So I think
Mhm.
sometimes folks can get so excited that their dog is going that they start the party a little too early and then they
Mm,
interrupt the bathroom behavior. So
yeah, that's a good point.
you observe it and you see it, you can internally celebrate and then wait till they kind of take that step that they're done and then big party. So try not to interrupt the bathroom behavior by prematurely celebrating and rewarding.
There you go. Thank you for that. No, that's very, very key for the
Little
potty training.
nuance.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. Exactly. So, all the listeners, if you are, taking this knowledge in, that's a great way. Don't throw that party too early, because and it makes so much
You'll
sense.
distract
Like,
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Do you want to be distracted when you're going to the bathroom?
Right, right.
Like
You might
someone
not
just
finish all the
barges in.
way. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great. Cool. Thank you. Pass it back to you, Gabe.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that have seen people make, like while potty training, and what are some ways that maybe like having a real grass patch could help like mitigate some of those mistakes?
There are two main mistakes that come to mind. The first one is correcting your puppy in any way when they have an accident. Puppies are brand new. They are babies. They have no clue about the world, and we
Mhm.
really need to help them be successful. And helping them be successful actually does not include correcting them for going to the bathroom in the wrong place because that can have a lot of unfortunate fallout. It can cause them to be afraid of you. It can cause them to be afraid of going to the bathroom in front of you. It just
Mhm.
is not how you want to be, interacting with and supporting your puppy at such a critical age. So if there's a funny saying in dog training, if you see your puppy have an accident, roll up a newspaper and hit yourself on the head for missing their signs that they needed to go out and go to the bathroom.
That's a
So,
good one. That's
puppies
good.
having accidents inside is more an indicator that something went wrong on our human end. And that brings me to the second mistake I see, which is just giving puppies too much space. They do not and should not be confined to a crate 24/7,
Hmm.
but they shouldn't have run of your whole house because then it's so easy for them to sneak away and go to the bathroom without you noticing. And
Definitely.
that's why having a fresh patch in an easily accessible place, whether it's like right by the door or right next to their pen, you will be able to see your puppy heading that direction or maybe circling, and you can encourage them to go to the fresh patch. And then you can be ready to reward,
Hmm.
which we've talked about how important that is. So,
Yeah.
making sure that you give them an appropriate size of space will help them be successful with their potty habits.
Perfect. Beautiful. I
Awesome.
love the newspaper.
Yeah, no,
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
you got me thinking. I'm like, gee, I really need to try
Yeah.
that.
It's on you. It's on
Yeah.
you as the
It
owner.
is. We put way too much responsibility on puppies and they
Oh
are
yeah.
brand
Yeah.
new. Everything is new in their world. They don't know up from down. They're trying to learn who is safe, who they can
Hmm.
trust, and just focus on bonding and routine setting
Hmm.
and predictability and consistency and that is the key to slowly building positive habits, including with the fresh patch.
Yeah. From day one, people. So
Mhm.
check it out, Fresh Patch. You can actually call our customer service. Hit us up too if you know you're getting that new puppy soon. Send us a DM, call our customer service. We'll help you out of the exact time to order so your grass will arrive in the timely manner that your puppy is coming home. So we try to help you out as much as possible by starting at day one as well. We're here to see potty training success and of course on the fresh patch. But yeah, hit us up if you have any questions or you're getting that new puppy. We're happy to help you out. So sweet. Moving on to the last question on the list. And it's more for you. Is there anything exciting you're working on? Or maybe you can't say yet, but you can tease a little bit, but
No, thank you for asking. I'm always trying to be forward thinking with my audience. How can I best
Mhm.
help my audience and my clients? I will say, with bringing my Chihuahua Matilda home in November, we got her at a year old, and she has
Aw.
gotten a ton of attention, and people really love her. So I've been really lucky to build an audience of small dog
Mhm.
guardians and people who have small dogs and love small dogs. So I am working on building a course for helping small dogs who bark at things, which There's a lot of small dogs for a number of reasons and not because they have small dog complexes. So I'm working on that this summer, but otherwise just trying to continue to create content for folks that give them just tips here and there to
Hmm.
improve their relationship with their dog, that can work on, challenging behavior issues, teach fun new tricks, and I just want to make folks' lives with their dogs easier and better. So I'll be, every day working on more content on that.
There you go. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
we're excited to see it all
Yeah.
and stuff, and there will probably be more with Fresh Patch, I'm assuming as well. So,
Mhm.
Hmm.
yeah, really love working with you. Thanks for joining the pod. And I didn't say this at the beginning of the episode, but for all the viewers, all the listeners, hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Drop a comment, like the video, follow at Fresh Patch on all social media. Wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, check out the Fresh Patch Podcast, where good pets get it. And I'll give you this opportunity to shout out your socials as well so people could go follow you.
Yep, JW Dog Training everywhere, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, jwdogtraining.com if you're interested in private training. And yeah, thank you both so much. This has been a lot of fun. I really love your product. It has helped so many of my clients and my followers, so I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, no, thank you. And glad it's been, we have a helpful product for you as a dog trainer and
Mhm.
stuff. And,
Totally.
love to provide to more trainers and everything. So if you are a trainer listening, hit us up. We got the
Definitely.
product for you.
And for those new puppy owners or new dog owners, check out JW Training. She does an amazing job, and it'll definitely be worth the time. So,
Yep.
Thank you.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll catch you next time on the Fresh Patch Podcast. Later.
bye.
Thanks for listening to the Fresh Patch Podcast, where good pets get it. We hope you enjoyed the show. Give us a like or a follow and shop all real grass supplies at freshpatch.com.